But I had this on my mind for the past couple of days because, I don't know, I think it's important to brainstorm the situation that has happened on Poshmark. And right now, I am a little confused as to technically what I should be doing. I have heard a lot of people discuss leaving the platform. I have tried the whatnot angle, and I feel that whatnot is definitely not, I'm just not, like in my situation, I think it's very hard to deal with the live selling. I'm supposed to be doing a live selling or a live show on whatnot shortly. I do feel as if you need to have an absolutely massive following to get like a small sale or a whole bunch of sales, depending on the size of your audience on Whatnot. I also have noticed that Whatnot basically deals with low sales. Like they want you to start low, like lower than the average product that you probably even purchased. So I'm like at like that kind of crossroad. Like, do I keep going with Poshmark? I am doing my Poshmark thing, but I'm not able to basically purchase that much stuff. I mean, it's not like I have a whole bunch of money to buy stock. It's nothing. I was not blessed with a lot of money. I have to make and earn my own money along the way. I was not lucky to have a family that would invest in a company that I wanted to start. It was not like that for me. I never had that luck. So everything that I have, I've had to earn myself. And that is, I think sometimes people don't understand that there's like kind of a barrier when you're starting a business. A business doesn't mean, oh, you have a ton of money to like invest. Maybe you have to like think through like a few things before you actually jump into it. In my case, I was not that lucky. I know I have family members that have businesses and started companies, but I was never invited into participating in their company. So for me, it's a different story. I moved from South Africa. I mean, I've lived in like 5 different countries, but I moved from South Africa and switched back to living in the United States. Like for instance, let me just go find these. I moved from South Africa. I have had my own little tiny shows, and those shows didn't technically mean I earned anything from them. I mean, it was just like, let's just take that for example. I've had a couple of things at the Smithsonian. I had an article that was discussed. I did some shows in South Africa. Okay, a lot of the stuff that I did, oddly enough, was knit for those particular purposes. I tried to start community projects. It was for me, it was like trying to help the community rather than focusing on, you know, I changed this is from my website, but this is the garment that you see down below is a garment that I actually did make. So that was a produced, let me just move this. That was a produced piece, okay, that knit. So it was always knit for me. It was not like the art. Yes, I do the art, right? I do the art, but I mainly focused on that kind of stuff, like performance arts, those kind of things. So it's been an interesting road for me to kind of work with, you know. It's not quite the same as other people. So now Poshmark is having, I don't know if other people know this, but Poshmark is having some problems. Not just small problems. I think it's shifting to the sense where um, everybody's in a slight panic. I'm even in a slight panic. I am doing all the responsible things. I am a 5-star seller. I've been a 5-star seller nonstop for a long time, unless somebody has some sort of conflict with me, which is hardly a problem. I find that when I had done live shows, there's always more conflicting issues than it's just, I think it's just easier. My personal opinion is I think it's easier to sell products on the actual platform rather than going live. Like you have your product listings, and those listings sell better. I think they sell better. They might sit a little bit longer, but they sell better, and people are happier. You're not bombarding them with a whole bunch of like products and trying to send them not samples, but discounts, and yeah, it gets complicated. But I've been doing it for about 4.5 years, and I've just noticed that there is a real shift. But I think they are focusing, I think Poshmark is focusing on those who do good presentations, who have 5 stars on their top seller list, who've never really caused any friction, I suppose. So I think there is a change in how things are going about now, and it's like people said that there was a glitch. I was not affected by the glitch that had happened. That may have something to do with a bot that they were using, or maybe they were taking down products too quickly because they might be selling on other platforms. I've started another platform. I was on Depop for a little bit. I stopped doing it. I have Macari. I haven't used it in a while. Poshmark was my main focus. I'd never done eBay. That was just not my thing, I guess. It was just too... I feel like Poshmark is a little bit more for fashion. I am trying to incorporate digital art into some ideas, but it's not the be end and end all for concepts. I just feel as if it's time to like brainstorm. Should I continue with my music? Is that like a direction I need to focus on? Am I like stepping away from selling products online? Am I staying on it? I mean, there are all these questions. It's just at this moment I have all these questions because everybody else is questioning the same questions. So I'm at that stage right now where I'm actually quite unsure what's going to happen. I just don't know what's going to happen. I sincerely have no clue what's going to happen. I just know that in order for me to keep sane, I need to stay productive. And yeah, once again, I do not come from a family of like my parents come, my dad had a job in a diplomatic lifestyle, which is basically a military. He is a military veteran. He's a military vet. And the embassy and the diplomatic life is exactly the same as a military lifestyle. It's not really much different. My dad just chose to use his intellect for a degree in political science than to use pressure on like physical muscles in like a military kind of base situation. So it's a bit different. We were like, our family is a little bit more academic. Like I think he focused on the academic side. So that academic side managed to get us to different parts of the world, which is quite cool. My mom is South African, as you know, she's mixed. Mixed South African. I'm not going to use the word that Tyler uses because there's always a conflict when you use that word. There's always a misunderstanding. I know from being and living in the United States part of my life that is one word you just don't use. So I stay away from those conflicts, you know. And I understand that there are a lot of people that enjoy confrontation and conflicts, but it's just not. I just know a happier life is to have peace in your life, and to distance oneself with conflict is definitely the better of the bunch. And yeah, I feel like I wanted to come on and talk about this Poshmark issue because I think it has become, like, it's become problematic because nobody really knows what's going to happen. A new company has taken over Poshmark, and it's like a Korean company, which is like a tech company, Neva, I think it's Neva, has taken over from what's the guy's name who owned Poshmark? Not Manish. Manish was the original owner and the creator of Poshmark. So he's now, I think, left the company, and Poshmark has been taken over by Navis, which is a Korean, like, AI technology company, which is apparently top of its tier in tech. So I'm seeing that it's now kind of, I've never done eBay, and people do say that it's beginning to feel more like eBay. I've never done it before, so I wouldn't know what eBay feels like to be on. I just know that it feels disconnected. I think it's always been disconnected, and I've never been great on, personally, I'm not a great live seller. It's just not, I'm not prepared to give free gifts out. If you have a whole bunch of people coming in and all they're wanting is the free gift and to win a free gift and then to duck, that's not business, in my personal opinion. That is people just wanting freebies and not giving back in return, or not prepared to kind of, yeah. So what I'd done on Poshmark was to just do share shows, just to make it like an even ground, because, I mean, not as if it does much, but I think a lot of the people who have been there for a long time know better not to jump into doing like full on, unless you have a lot of money and you have a lot of money to spend and you don't mind spending a ton of money on free gifts and giving it away, and probably investing $50,000 or more into buying gifts and then to give them out. You lose money. I personally think you're losing money more than you earn money on these platforms. At one point, Poshmark was doing well. You were actually earning money. I think now people are beginning to lose money because people are always requesting quality items for much, much, much cheaper than what you'd even find in the stores. So I have a qualm with it. That is my concern, and I need to think through this very carefully as to which direction I want to go. I don't have money to spend like that. We don't even have a house. We have no house, and the whole point was for us to save to get a house. So I think that's the biggest concern right now, is like, what do you do? The music industry is also going through turmoil because I've had a couple of options to join in on a group from a guy that started at the high school that I started in Japan, who then moved into Sony, and I know people in Japan at Sony. Like, I knew them because we went to school together. And he then moved on and started this company called Sound Waves? I don't remember. So I was involved with it, but then he was like, oh, I need you to put $40 a month down for my company, and then I will possibly send your tracks out, but you can't tell people these are your tracks. So I was like, I don't know. I mean, my tracks are my tracks. I'm not prepared to just give my stuff away and then have people not know who I am. Like, so I'm like a silent writer, which was not my personal. If I'm going to do it, it has to be like done mutually, and somebody has to know that I'm producing the music or whatever. So I stopped doing that. I was just not, I didn't see that as a thing. I produce my own tracks for my videos, which I feel like is good enough for social media. I think that's fine, especially on YouTube. I think YouTube is a good place to produce your own tracks because copyright free music. But then this whole question of AI generated music has become a real problem. It's become a real problem because now they're making money. They just need to put in a couple of like words, and then now these people are making money doing that. So I'm like, well, where's the point in creating, being the creator, if you cannot participate in the creation of the creation and then have your name on whatever it is that you're doing? So it's a big question mark. It really is. I don't know what to think anymore. So I'm sort of like brainstorming the vision, right? It's like, it's sort of like a thing. And yeah, that's where I am right now. So I just wanted to come on here and talk about my concerns. I had thought through speaking about it before, but I hadn't really jumped on the bandwagon and started talking. Today is the day that I want to talk about it. Yesterday was my birthday. So I had thought through it, but I hadn't had the time. So now I'm just giving myself the time to do it. And yeah, that's basically it. So have a great one, folks. And yeah, great. Have a good one.